Phoenix Splash TV. If you're a fan of J-Rock and J-Rock idols, then chances are that you've heard of a man named Sugizo. You may have heard of him from X Japan, or you might have heard of him from another band called Luna Sea. Sugizo's one of those idols who looks like $1 million and can actually compose/perform music. Many people don't really include Sugizo as one of the J-Rock gods, but I think his accolade speaks for itself. The man is a solid performer and a great composer, and as far as J-Rockers go, he's one of the best. Sugizo's real name is Yune Sugihara. He was born in Hadano, Kawagawa to two successful musician parents. Much like Yoshiki, Sugizo started learning music theory at a very young age, the age of 3. He was constantly practicing violin and heading in the direction of a classical musician. After experimenting with trumpet and continuing his violin practice, Sugizo was finally exposed to London punk rock and the Yellow Magic Orchestra. Being inspired, Sugizo teamed up with his high school friend Shinya and would start many different bands. Sugizo actually didn't play the guitar at first. He actually started out on bass guitar. After joining many bands, the duo of Sugizo and Shinya finally joined a band called Luna Sea, teaming up with vocalist Ryuichi Kawamura, bass guitarist Jay, and rhythm guitar player Inoran. Because Jay was a bass guitar player first and already in the band, Sugizo would drop the bass guitar and pick up lead guitar parts. The band eventually changed the spelling of their name to Luna Sea, and would eventually be founded by ex-Japan guitar player Hide, and would be signed under Yoshiki's studio Ecstasy Records. When I first heard Sugizo, it was from the band Luna Sea. His guitar style reminds me a lot of another guitar player known as The Edge from the band U2, except a lot more technical. I also had a friend in high school who would call me Sugizo, I guess because we both sported long hair. Now, unlike X Japan where Yoshiki wrote all of the songs, Luna Sea's music was sporadically written by different members of the band. Sugizo was credited to some of my favorite Luna Sea songs like I For You, Deja Vu, and In Silence. Sugizo was definitely one of the most, if not the most, popular member of Luna Sea, and with his unique guitar style and his implementation of the violin, he became a world-renowned musician. Sugizo has a lot of solo work under his belt, including a solo album that featured a more electronic style, and even featured Ryuichi Sakamoto on it, someone else I talked about on this channel. Speaking of Sakamoto, Sugizo participated in the No More Landmines movement, and helped the production of the Zero Landmines albums. He also has an acting career, starring and writing music in movies like the movie Soundtrack and Tokyo Decibels. He's also appeared on Muse Sakamoto's music, as well as even appearing on a recent Duran Gray song, Yudafumi. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's many more collaborations that Sugizo has taken part in. Around the year 2008, X Japan announced that they were coming back. With lead guitar player Hide deceased, it was announced that Sugizo would be taking his place. This would start debates and comparisons between Hide and Sugizo, people often saying Sugizo is better or vice versa. What are my opinions on it? All I could say is that Sugizo is doing a good job. As far as musical styles go, Sugizo and Hide are two very different beasts, but as far as playing the parts that Yoshiki wrote, I think Sugizo is doing well. Not only is X Japan back, but Luna Sea is also considered back as well, making a new single called Limit for the anime N-Ride. That means Sugizo is technically in two big bands. He's even composing for X Japan as well with a new song called Beneath the Skin, which was originally meant to be performed by the super J-Rock group that Sugizo and Yoshiki were a part of, called Skin. Much like Yoshiki, Sugizo also gets a lot of heat because he pretty much represents the new era of X Japan, but I see it a bit differently. Yeah, it would be cool to see Hide and even Taji playing with X Japan again and playing in that old speed metal style. But hey, I like when bands totally reinvent themselves. If X Japan started playing jazz fusion, I'd still be on board. That's the thing about the music industry. If X Japan was a wrestler, people would be praising the hell out of X Japan right now. Music fans pretty much just want the same thing over and over, unfortunately. Now, what is my favorite song written by Sugizo? Now that's a tough one. I'm going to have to say that it's a tie between a lunacy song called No Pain and a solo song called Rest in Peace Fly Away, specifically the one version featuring Bice. Her voice and his style of writing just went together so beautifully. And sadly, that's the only song they made that I can find that they did together before she tragically passed away. So what do you think about Sugizo? Leave it in the comments below. I have to give a shout out to Wenwen's son who suggested I do a video on Sugizo. She also shared the fact that Sugizo wrote Beneath the Skin and that it was originally written for Skin. A very big thank you from me. And speaking of music, if you like original music, my band, the Phoenix Splash Band, has come out with its very first single. It's out on Soundcloud to where you can listen to it for free. It's a bit of a 60s style ballad, and I even got Sugizo to send a session guitar for it. Not really, but do check it out. Anyways, thanks for watching and stay safe. This is Josh the Music Man, signing off.